What is up, Pats Nation? It is Patriots Global back here with another video, and with breaking news. Patriots tight end Benjamin Watson has been suspended for the first 4 games of the 2019 regular season. Now, pretty much in a nutshell, Benjamin Watson posted a whole thing basically about the whole circumstances, everything that happened, what led up to this, and why what's happening is happening. And pretty much Benjamin Watson, when he decided to retire, he decided to retire. Like, he knew that he wanted to retire. He did not have any thoughts about coming back until later. So basically what he said was that he was going to his doctors and he was basically evaluating where he was with his body. Again, keep in mind, he was not planning on returning to the NFL, so he was having discussions with his doctor after many, many, many years of playing football, a very tough, competitive game that really has a wear and tear on your body. Basically, how can he start to get better? How can he make his body better after spending all this time in the NFL? And so basically him and his doctors had to plan, and they started said plan, and it wasn't until after they started was Benjamin Watson deciding to come back to playing football. So some of you might be wondering, what exactly was he using that he's going to be suspended for the first 4 games? Well, according to actually himself, he has been using testosterone this offseason as his doctor has suggested it. Now, there isn't anything wrong with testosterone as it is a legal prescription medication, but it is also actually a banned substance under the NFL's PED policy. He started using this substance a little bit after he was done playing for the Saints and before he ended up coming out of retirement to play for the Pats. The 38 Ben Watson is not going to do anything to try to get out of these circumstances. Even though he was retired, he's not going to do anything to try to go against it, as he does say that he realizes the rules of the NFL and what they are, and he accepts the suspension. Now, for those who are confused on what exactly it means to be suspended for the first 4 games, it doesn't mean that he cannot be in the facility for the offseason or anything like that. So he can still participate in OTAs, mini camp, training camp, anything that the Patriots do before week 1. Once week 1 starts of the regular season, Ben Watson will not be allowed to be anywhere near the Patriots facility for week 1, 2, 3, or 4. So after the Bills game on September 29th, he will then be able to return and start practicing for the following week against the Redskins. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be freaking out in the comments saying how, again, like, why is this happening to the Patriots? It seems like it happens to the Patriots on a pretty yearly basis. Last year it happened to Edelman. Year before that, I actually don't believe it happened, but then the year before that, it was Tom Brady. But it seems like whenever a Patriots player gets suspended for 4 games, the Patriots end up going to the Super Bowl and winning it. So maybe this is more of a blessing than we think. But on a real note, the Patriots actually knew about this from what it sounds like. The Patriots knew what was happening when they were talking about negotiations with him, when they ended up actually signing him, as Ben Watson actually came out and he told the Patriots this. Just because us fans are not finding out until now doesn't mean that the Patriots didn't know. Because from what it sounds like, Ben Watson actually did tell the Patriots. The Patriots are fully aware of the testosterone use and how he was more likely than not going to be suspended for the first 4 games. But yet the Patriots have went on and they've still made the moves that they have. So it really does not affect the Patriots all that much because it isn't news that is just automatically dropping on them and shocking them. Ultimately, what I think this does more is that it opens up a chance for other guys, because you aren't more likely than not just going to have 2 tight ends on the roster. I would be pretty surprised if the Patriots just went in with a Matt LaCosse and an Austin Seferian-Jenkins for 4 games. Again, if those are the guys that actually make the roster. Especially because an Austin Seferian-Jenkins is a guy that is pretty high when it comes to being injury prone. So the question is, do the Patriots ride with another tight end for the whole season? Do they have 4 tight ends on the roster, which They don't do normally. Normally it's just a three tight ends type of thing. But because Rob Gronkowski retired and it's going to take many guys to replace what he did, I could see the Patriots carrying 4 tight ends. So it opens the question, is it somebody that's already on the roster, or are they still looking to make some type of trade? Now, as we heard, the Patriots were looking to possibly trade for Vikings tight end Kyle Rudolph, and a lot of us had questions, but now that we hear this, maybe it makes a little bit more sense. Now, that door, literally nothing has been said. We've heard more about Kyle Rudolph wanting to stay where he is and him being offered a contract rather than him actually joining the Patriots, but again, we never know. But I mean, obviously, even something like this is never ideal. The Patriots could have really used him. They're not going to be missing too much, as the Patriots, in the 4 weeks that he is gone, the Patriots will be playing the Steelers, they'll be playing the Dolphins, they'll be playing the Jets, and they'll be playing the Bills. So mostly they will be playing divisional rivals. So it isn't anything that worries me too much. It's not like he's going to be missing games against the Chiefs or teams against like the Browns or the Giants or any of those teams that could provide a little bit more competition. Now, another thing that this means, and something that goes really unnoticed, is that the Patriots will have an open roster spot for 4 weeks, which again basically means that for 4 weeks, Ben Watson will not be on the actual active roster, which thank God the NFL did this, and he will not be wasting an actual roster spot, even though he won't be playing. They actually will have to put somebody else on that spot, so maybe they bring in another tight end, or maybe they give that spot to an offensive lineman, which is something I truly would not be surprised about. But after those 4 weeks, they will have to cut someone from the roster in order to make room for Ben Watson to come back. But that is it for today's video. Ben Watson will be suspended for the first 4 games. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe. This helps me, the channel, and even you guys out very, very, very much. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows when go to the Patriots Global family. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.